It is exciting coming up the drive, actually, and seeing it doing that.
Yeah,
is it?
What do you think? Vision completely realised?
It is. I mean, it's surprising because so often, out of necessity, things veer off to one side that you hadn't expected
Yes,
or
there's
drawn.
been no
But
compromise
actually,
from the original, has there?
No, it's exactly the one you picked because you were so good at it. Because I thought, what if he picks that one? Because I didn't want you to have something Victorian
or something. Nudge, actually. You know, the one which had a which had a video attached.
That's right.
And the more elaborate drawings.
Yes,
It's been a bit perverse to have chosen one of the others, wouldn't it? Don't you think?
Well, I'm so glad you went the way you did. It was daring. I mean, that's what's great about a household, a family, that each period they do something related to their period, rather than trying to copy some other period.
Yes.
You know, a fake
Well,
Victorian
I feel this
urn or
quite
something.
strongly, actually, because, you know, different styles, people say, how can you put something which is unashamedly modern together with something that is several hundred years old? I suppose the answer is that if the quality is good in both, they should score off each other, shouldn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And this building doesn't match the Elizabethan ones, you know.
Not at all.
So in that period, they seem very modern.
Yeah.
And Chippendale, you can imagine the conversations about his spindly furniture legs.
Yes, what's he doing in a house like
yes,
this?
It'll never last. It's ridiculous. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think it works, and I thought the piece that you did for us at Cranbourne was wonderful.
Oh, I'm so
and what
glad.
I loved about it was, I mean, apart from it fitting so nicely into that front yard, I thought, and the fact that it moved, is also rather important. But when the garden was open to the public, which it did from time to time, the public used to just sit and watch it, fascinated.
There's something about things that move, actually, because that's why I'm desperate to get this thing moving, because there's a piece, it's regarded one way, but as soon as it moves, a whole different attitude takes place.
With the water going, I think the water is incredibly important.
Yes, absolutely.
And the sound of running water makes such a difference, particularly on hot summer's days. So how does this marry with your rather more conventional portraiture?
They're two clearly so fundamentally different.
Yeah.
I love the pressure and the accuracy that's necessary in minute details with a portrait, and this curious osmosis between the sitter and myself. And if I think it's a terrible portrait, absolutely ghastly, only about for a 10-year-old child, but if I just let it all drift and flow and don't intellectually decide what I should do, then
it works.
Yeah. It's a funny business.
So if you're too self-conscious about it, it becomes a bit wooden.
Yeah, just awful. But if I just, with somebody, it goes. And it's terribly exciting. It's a curious business.
Whereas something like this, or what you did at Cranbourne or Chatsworth?
That's a much deeper passion because, I mean, I've always, like so many of you, been interested in nature. And if you think about it, it's not just the daffodils and the roses. We're all now involved in trying to understand outer space, but it's all nature on different scales. Yeah. And it's the most powerful force of all, like it or loathe it. It's, carrying on out there on our tiny, fragile planet, which is almost imperceptible from quite soon. When you leave the Milky Way, it's gone. But that's why I like using natural forces, because that's a link to nature, and using the sun or using gravity or using the wind to make movement. And it's an instinct. I mean, when people watch a fire and watch a log being about to go, they stare and stare at it because they understand it and feel it's part of some natural force.
And we've done it since we were children, haven't we?
Absolutely.
That's true. And I suppose that's...
It's unthreatening on this scale. Obviously, outer space is deeply threatening, but on this scale, it's something people understand, because with computers and so many complicated things that a lot of people can't possibly understand. And so there's all this mystery out there, which is hard to understand for most people. Whereas if you're using wind and they can see water's getting something heavier on one side, they understand about it tipping. And they like the fact that I purposely make them look so you can understand them. They're not some mystery, not yet another mystery to deal with.
There is power attached, of course.
Yes,
to both
there is. The
sculptures
pumps,
you've
yeah,
done for
exactly.
me.
Yes.
So there's a pump,
Yeah.
but once the pump's done its job, it's gravity
It's gravity that takes over.
that takes over.
Yes.
So you've just got to get the water up to
Up there.
up there.
That's right.
And the rest of it is natural forces.
Yes, it is. As I see it.
And that's the point.
Yeah. Comprehensible and slow and rhythmic.
And the fact that you're using quite you're using a modernistic idiom, but it's the metal, of course, comes from the earth. Water is water. Gravity. It's all part of the force of nature.
Yes, it is. But it was especially the idea of it came from what I felt about your family, because I think you're doing a lot more than just sorting out the window panes and the cement and the concrete and the gravel. You're having a whole renaissance here, you and I.
Well, we're trying to.
And that's what it's about. That's what that golden globe coming up is the renaissance.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's a powerful image, and we've now got to live up to it, haven't we, for the rest of it?